Good morning, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and doing well. Children, as you all know, we have started our lesson number 1, Gravitation, from Science Part 1. And in our previous lectures, we have studied about what is gravitation and the difference between gravity and gravitation. Children, we have also learned the Kepler's law. In today's lecture, we shall be learning Earth's gravitational force and acceleration and variation in the value of g. So children, let's begin. To begin with, Earth's gravitational force. Now children, you can see on your screen there are two pictures where a stone is being thrown upward, vertically upward. So children, answer me, will the velocity of a stone thrown vertically upward remain constant, or will it change with the time? And how will it change? Why doesn't the stone move up all the time? Why does it fall down after reaching a certain height? What does its maximum height depend on? Can you answer this, children? The answer to all these questions is that the earth attracts every object near it towards itself. And why does it? Because of the gravitational force. The center of mass of the earth is situated at its center. So, the gravitational force on any object due to the earth is always directed towards the center of the earth. And children, because of this force, an object falls vertically downwards on the earth. Similarly, when we throw a stone vertically upwards, so this gravitational force tries to pull it down and reduce the velocity of the stone. Now, due to this constant downward pull, the velocity becomes zero after a while, and the pull continues to be exerted, and then the stone starts moving vertically downwards towards the center of the earth under its influence. So that's why, due to the gravitational force, the stone falls vertically downward when it is thrown upward. Have you understood, children, Earth's gravitational force? Good. Let's move to the other topic. Now, children, according to Newton's law of gravitation, every object attracts every other object, right? So, if the earth attracts an apple towards itself, the apple also attracts the earth towards itself with the same force. Then, children, there must be a question arising. Then, why does the apple falls towards the earth, but the earth does not move upwards the apple? See, children, the gravitational force due to the earth also acts on the moon, because of which it revolves around the earth. Okay, so in such similar situation exist for artificial satellites which are orbiting the earth. Now, the moon and the artificial satellites, they orbit the earth. That means they are revolving around the earth. So, the earth attracts them towards itself. But unlike the apple falling, they do not fall on the earth. And why it is so? Because of the velocity of the moon and the satellites along their orbit. Since they are continuously revolving, okay, because of their velocity of moon and satellite, right? So if this velocity was not there, they would have fallen on the earth. Now you understood why does the apple fall on the earth and not earth moves towards the apple? Or why does moon or artificial satellite do not fall on the earth? Good. Earth's gravitational acceleration. Now children, the earth exerts gravitational force on the object near it. Now according to Newton's second law of motion, a force acting on a body results in its acceleration. Now as you can see on your screen children, if there is a boy, okay, a man and a dog, okay, so if they jump, when the boy jumps, the gravitational force will attract that boy, that pulls him down, and the boy will come back on the earth after jumping, right? So the earth exerts gravitational force on the object near it. Same case will happen with the dog also. If the dog jumps up, he will come down on the earth. Why? Because earth exerts gravitational force on the objects near it. Got it, children? Now children, let's take an example of a football. Now if I push the ball in the direction, okay, in the other direction, what will happen? I am applying a force. So this force will act on the body, and then that ball, it will move. That means it will accelerate. Got it? So a force acting on a body results in its acceleration. That is, force is equals to mass into acceleration, which is Newton's second law. Okay? This is called as acceleration due to gravity, and it is denoted by G. As the gravitational force on any object due to the earth is directed towards the center of the earth, the direction of acceleration due to gravity, it is also directed towards the center of the earth, that is vertically downward. See, look here, if the man, he is throwing the ball from at a certain height, so the ball will fall vertically downward because of gravitational force on that object. Okay, and that gravitational force is from where? From the center of the earth. Therefore, the direction of acceleration due to gravity, it is also directed towards the center of the earth, that is vertically downwards. So the gravitational force due to the earth on the body results in its acceleration. So the formula comes here, G, that is small g, is equals to capital G capital M upon capital R square. Now let us see how this formula has derived. Let us learn how to derive this formula. Now children, as you can see on your screen, the earth, okay, and a boy is standing on the earth. Now earth has its mass as well as boy will have its mass. So the mass of the earth, it is denoted by capital M, and mass of that boy, it is denoted by small m. So if he is standing on the surface of the earth, so from the center there would be a distance that is known as the radius, distance that is denoted by r. Now let's come to the formula. Now we know that F is equals to G m1 m2 upon r square. This formula we have learned from Newton's universal law of gravitation. So let us replace m1 by the mass of earth, that is capital M, and m2 by the mass of that boy, that is small m. Okay, so the equation will be F is equal to capital G, capital M, small m upon capital R square. Let us denote this equation as 1. Now also we know that force is equals to mass into acceleration, right? F is equals to m into G by Newton's second law. Let us give the equation number 2. Now children, both these equations are for force. So now let us equate these two equations. So from equation 1 and 2, what we get is mg is equal to capital G, capital M, small m upon r square. Now after cancellation of small m on both the side, we get the r equation small g is equal to capital G, capital M upon capital R square. Understood children? Now children, we know that if the value of R increases, the value of G will decrease. Why? Because G is inversely proportional to R. If the value of R decreases, then what will happen? Value of G will increase. And value of M, if it increases, value of G will also increase. Why? Because G is directly proportional to M. Understood children? Now let us learn about variation in value of G, that is in the value of gravity. Now children, there is variation in the value of G due to 3 reasons. Shape, altitude, that is height, and depth. Let us study the first, that is shape. Now change along the surface of the earth. Now children, tell me, will the value of G be the same everywhere on the surface of the earth? The answer to this is no. And what is the reason for it? The reason is that the shape of the earth is not exactly a circle, it is a spherical. And so the distance of a point on the surface of the earth from its center differs somewhat from place to place. Now children, we know that earth is continuously rotating with its axis, right? And due to this rotation of the earth bulges at the equator and it is flatter at the poles, right? It bulges at the equator and it is flatter at the poles. So what does this mean? It means that the radius is largest at the equator and it is smallest at the pole. Now since the radius is different at equator and the pole, so the value of G is thus highest at the poles. It is 9.83 meter per second square and it decreases slowly with decreasing latitude. That means it is lowest at the equator. And what it is? 9.78 meter per second square. Understood children? Radius is largest at the equator and it is smallest at the poles. So what is our equation for this is small g is equal to capital G, capital M upon R square. Now let's see the next topic, that is variation in value of G with respect to altitude, that is change with height. Now children, as we go above the earth's surface, the value of R increases and the value of G decreases. Why? Because G is inversely proportional to R, right? Children, let's take an example to understand this concept. Now, suppose look at your screen. We are on the surface of the earth, right? So, the gravity will be what? 9.83 meter per second square. Now, if we go a little bit higher, suppose we go on Mount Everest. So, there the height will be what? 8.8 kilometers from the surface of the earth. So, the gravity would be 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so let us go a little bit higher. So, the maximum height reached by a man-made balloon is what? 36.6 kilometer. And if we are there in that hot air balloon, okay, so the gravity would be 9.77, a slight difference you can see. Now let us move a bit higher. Okay, let us take the height of a typical weather satellite. It is at the height of 400 kilometer. So now children, what would be the gravity? 8.7. Okay, this would be the gravity. Now you are able to find a difference between the gravity, right? What is on the surface of the earth, and now we are at a height of 400 kilometer of a typical weather satellite. Now if we slightly move more upper, okay, so what would be the height? 35,700 kilometers, the height of a communication satellite. So there the gravity is what? 0.225. So now here there would be a variation in the value of G, right? It is 0.225 meter per second square. Understood, children? Now let's learn the variation in value of G with respect to depth, that is change with the depth. Now children, the value of G also changes if we go inside the earth. Now children, let's take an example. If a boy is standing on the surface of the earth, right? So children, when this boy, if he goes inside the earth, so what is happening? The radius of the earth is becoming less, right? The mass of the earth is also becoming less. So the value of R, it is decreasing, and therefore the value of G, it increases, right? As per a formula. Now if that boy goes more deeper inside, okay, so what is happening? The gravity will decrease. Now if the gravity is decreasing, mass will also decrease. Why? Because G is directly proportional to M. And then at a certain point, if uh, the gravity, it becomes zero, then mass also becomes zero. I hope you understood, children. So children, we have learnt variation in the value of G. It is because of three reasons, that is shape, altitude and depth. So shape, it means changes along the surface of the earth. So what is the radius of the earth at pole? It is 9.832 meter per second square, and at the equator it is 9.78 meter per second square. And altitude means height. Okay, it increases, so gravity will decrease. And the third reason is depth, that is change with the depth. Depth increases, gravity decreases. So children, I hope everyone has understood today's topic. Children, After watching this video, please read the lesson. With this, we have come to an end of today's session. We shall meet you in the next session with a new subtopic. Till then, children, take care of yourself. Stay connected, children. Thank you.